Hey beautiful people, how you doing? This is Relivle Mohadi. I am back with another YouTube video. I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are fantastic. You are where you want to be, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, because that's what we are chasing. We are peaceful people, we are joyful people, we attract, we don't chase. That's who we are, period. Last week I posted a live update video just telling you guys where have I been, what's been happening, and why I haven't been uploading. If you haven't checked it out, please go do that, baby. If you haven't subscribed, do that. If you haven't liked, do that. If you haven't shared, what are you waiting for? Please do that. So at the end of my video last week, I introduced this book, baby. This is my child. Don't Drop the Mic by TD Jakes. The power of your words can change the world. I introduced this book and I was just like, yeah, this was the right book at the right time, and I wanted to give you guys my revelation. So I'm gonna be looking down because I wrote down some things and I want to reference to the book also. I'm not gonna summarize or give you guys a revelation of the whole book, but I'll choose. I know chapter 2 because chapter 2 was close to my heart. Chapter 2, child. I know chapter 2 I'm gonna do, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna do chapter 2 and the beginning of the book. So yes, as I said, I just wanna share with you guys what I learned from the book, and let's enjoy. If you have read it, please share your experience with the book. If you learned something from me, please please just share some love there by the comments, and please don't forget to comment. I enjoy comments, even if you don't subscribe, but just comment, because I enjoy that. Subscribe and comment, please comment. I enjoy hearing your views, I enjoy hearing your love, feeling your love. I enjoy that, and please show me some love. So yes, disclaimer, I'm not a reviewer. I am not somebody who summarizes books. I am not a literature, no, that is not me. I'm not that. I'm just somebody who fell in love with reading and who fell in love with the book. I'm just somebody who fell in love with the book and wanting to share my revelation with my people. Right? Let's get started. So initially the book is about people who are vocal, or people who loves talking, public speakers or preachers, or just people who enjoys being heard, like me, people who love sharing their opinions and whatever. But I'm just gonna generalize this whole book because I feel like anyone can read it and anyone can implement it in their own understanding or their own interpretation. You understand? So he starts this whole book by a well-known verse. John 1 verse 1. It says, if you don't know, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, full of grace and truth. You already see that it's a lot of words and a lot of talking, and also a lot of it was not gonna make sense, and a lot of referencing to God's word. Also I noted down that the book is about how to maximize your message at the microphone, what to say and read the room before you say what you say, you know. So the name of the book is Don't Drop the Mic, right? Which goes against dropping the mic, and we all know what dropping the mic means. Dropping the mic can mean that you just had a powerful performance, everybody's screaming, you just said something powerful, then you drop the mic, then you walk and the crowd goes wow. You know, dropping the mic can mean that we love what you're doing, and you are feeling what you're doing, and you're proud of what you're doing, and you can see how the crowd is reacting. And also, dropping the mic can mean that quitting, can mean that fumbling, or being scared to do something. So in reference to this book, he means that don't stop doing what you're doing. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Don't carry on. Don't be scared. That's what he's saying. And I'm just gonna go to chapter 2. The title of chapter 2 is Own the Fear Factor, and he starts by quoting a quote by Alice Walker. What the mind doesn't understand, it worships or fears, you know. And I personally feel like it's humane, or at least for me, you know, it's normal for me. If I don't understand something, or if something is confusing, I choose not to associate myself with it. I choose not to be around it, because I'm preventing confusion in my life. It can be a place. If I feel like it's dodgy, I am not going there. Or if I feel some weird vibes from somebody, I choose not to be around something. I think my revelation from this quote is that I am scared. I don't want to be around things that I don't understand. And the sad thing is that you won't understand everything, you know. As you start reading chapter 2, he gives us a background about when he started preaching, when he started standing in front of a congregation. You know, he says, the first time I preached, or at least the first time I recall standing in the pulpit of a small country church in West Virginia, he was still a teenager with more energy than eloquence, more ambition than experience. And for me, that paragraph, it's a mouthful. You know, I got a lot of things from this paragraph. TD Jakes did not chase perfection, but he chased what he felt inside. I even noted down here that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to sound eloquent. You don't need to appear correct. You just need to feed the fire that is igniting inside of you. If you chase perfection, you will never start. You will keep on procrastination, and you will be stagnant while us re-challenge on. So he challenged himself, and as you read down, he talks about how scared he was. Let me read this part. My mouth remained as dry as a desert, while my heart felt like an anchor sinking in the depths of anxious uncertainty. The butterflies in my stomach morphed in frantic bees buzzing up in my brain in a swarm of colliding thoughts. I had prepared, rehearsed, prayed, asked others to pray, and rehearsed some more. So for me, what I'm getting from here, that fear is normal. You know, challenging yourself is very much normal. As you read down, he states that he doubts there were more than 100 congregants in that church. He says, I doubt there were more than 100 congregants gazing back at me that Sunday, but I might as well have been addressing crowds in a stadium on the first momentous occasion. Momentous, not necessarily for those in attendance, although I hope they receive some spiritual nourishment from my delivery of God's word that day. That is powerful. TD Jakes didn't chase followers, didn't chase how many people are in that church. That was not his drive. The drive was sending the message of God to the people. So I've learned that the drive shouldn't be likes. The drive shouldn't be followers, views, subscribers. That shouldn't be our drive. Our drive should be feeding what is igniting inside of us and making sure it is quality, it has depth. If you like talking, make sure what you're sending out to the world might help somebody. Somebody might learn from it, or somebody might gain from it. If you are selling something, make sure that what you're doing is quality. Even though you have 2 customers, it shouldn't discourage you. It should encourage you for the next time another 2. Because when those 2 buy your clothing, I'm gonna ask, where did you buy that? No, I bought it from Mang Mang. I go to Mang Mang. That's how people come. But at first, your drive shouldn't be how many people are viewing my things, how many people are supporting me. You just need to work with what you have and give it to the world and perfect it as you grow. You can't be the same person you were 2018. If you have a business, it should be a slight growth, if not huge. That's what he is saying. And he's like, it was far from perfect, but it was a small victory. That's what I was saying. You don't have to be perfect when you start. You don't have to appear as visiting somebody on the experience, because those people started somewhere. Those people, bo TD Jakes, bo Viola, bo Mpumi Ledwaba, bo Oprah Winfrey, they started somewhere. But what did they do? They trusted their craft. They didn't care who was looking. They did it for themselves and making sure that they serve their destiny. So that's what I got from this thing. You don't have to be perfect. Make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. If you don't do it, how will you know it's a mistake? And also referencing to that paragraph, we need to show up. You need to show up. I need to show up for my craft. TD Jakes showed up. He did not care how many people came. He did not. Basically, he gave it his all, and he understood that I'm not supposed to be perfect, and that's what we have to take for ourselves. It shouldn't be perfect. We shouldn't even care who's looking, who's not. We just need to do what we love with passion and compassion and with love. It can be you designing clothes, it can be you being a makeup artist, it can be you being an accountant or studying, but do it with love. Show up for what you love, and everything will fall into place. And I personally feel like perfection is rooted from fear and comparison, and you're not being authentic. When you compare yourself, if you say you wanted to be perfect, where did you see perfection? You understand what I'm saying? Where did you saw it from somebody else, and you're trying to recreate what that person is doing. And I personally feel like we learn from our mistakes. We need to allow ourselves to make mistakes, because that's where growth is. If you make mistakes, I'm not supposed to do this next time. So we need to show up. We shouldn't care about numbers. We should not be perfectionists, but we should be human beings, and human beings make mistakes and they learn from their mistakes. So as you read, he speaks about fear. He said it was far from perfect, but it was a small victory that had enormous consequence in my life. It was far from being perfect, but it shaped his life. That's what I'm saying. Allow yourself to make mistakes so that it can shape you from not doing those mistakes you've done. And he speaks about fear, that we should not let fear be an obstacle, or we should not let fear block us from reaching our goal. It can be fear of being judged, fear of letting your parents down, fear of being misunderstood, or fear of being misunderstood, or fear of being taken out of context. Fear is part of the equation. Fear is something that needs to happen. We can't live without fear, because fear challenges your personality. One thing you should not do is to allow fear to rule you. We should rule fear, because when you are scared, or when you are nervous, when you have cold feet, it means that you want it so much and you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to drop the mic. So that's all he's saying, that we should never let fear stand in our way, because fear is part of our journey. I will never stop saying that. I will keep on saying it. You should never let fear be an obstacle that blocks you from reaching your goal. We are not like that. We are not that's not our brand. Yes, we are scared because we want to do good, but we are not dropping the mic. We are continuing with what we are doing. Because if you allow fear, it's into a batang, you're gonna miss on opportunities, you're gonna miss on adventurous things, you're gonna miss on challenging yourself, you're gonna miss on a lot. I like what TD Jakes says: nothing ventured, nothing gained. Simple. If you don't venture anything, you don't gain anything. It can be the adrenaline, it can be the excitement, it can be anything. You don't gain the experience, you don't gain that feeling that everyone feels when they conquer their fears. And he said becomes nothing ventured, nothing lost. So if you don't venture anything, you don't gain anything, but you lose opportunities, you lose that experience, you lose stories to tell. Because we are growing up, we're gonna have kids. Obviously you have to say this and that. I challenged myself, and you lose on such amazing experiences, and other people lose too, because you're gonna be a boring parent and all of that, and he even said it, you lose out and those around you lose as well. Now I'm going to this one, giant obstacles. We all know what is giant. Giant is huge. Obstacles is barriers, something like huge barriers. So here, TD Jakes is referencing to a scripture, 1 Samuel 16-17, where God sent Samuel to Jesse's house, because I know we all know that story where God sent Samuel to Jesse's house to find a king, which is King David, right? When Samuel got to Jesse's house, Jesse, but God was like, nope. At least the giant, the hunk, with at least able to work off, but God was just like, not him, nope. And Jesse was like, then someone was like, are you sure? It's like, yeah, he's just a shepherd, he's very tiny, and what, how, you understand? Imagine somebody saying that. Then Jesse was like, no, and then someone was like, that is the one. It shows that God does not look at the physical appearance, but God looks at the heart. So we need to stop condemning ourselves and say, we are not fit for that, I am not fit for what. It's also fear. If you say things like that, you're also scared of what could turn out. No, no, challenge yourself. God looks at your heart. He does not at God looks at your heart. He does not look at how you look, how you dress, how your body structure. He does not look at all of that. That is for you, but he looks at the heart. And you saying that I'm not capable of doing that, it feels like you are undermining God's power. He is the creator. He created that. When you create somebody, like when you create a phone, you literally know the ins and outs of the phone. So he created us. He know our capabilities. He know what we can do, what we cannot do. So we are not allowed to say, I can't do that. What? God said you can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You understand? So try approaching things in a positive manner, that I can do it. When you fail, what did you gain? You gain that, no, this is not my thing. If you don't try, you don't even know whether this is your thing or not. So do it with all of your heart, and everything will make sense at the end. So the last one is keep it real. Keep it real. T. Jakes is making a reference from 1 Samuel 17 to 14, right? Basically is when David was about to fight with Goliath, and just the shepherd small boy was like, I will fight him. But so King Saul wanted to help David, wanted to help him, and he offered to give him his warrior uniform. He said, but David rejected the uniform because he was a shepherd. He had his stones and he had his slingshot. He had his things. Let me read here. After rejecting Saul's armor and sword, David looked up his shepherd's staff and slingshot and reached into nearby streams of 5 smooth stones. For me, that is also powerful, and I like how T.D. Jakes interpreted it. He said he used what he felt comfortable using rather than the cumbersome, ill-fitting items offered by the king. I think cumbersome means complex or strange or different, something that you're not used to using. I think it means cumbersome, So for me, what I got for myself is that David got outside his comfort zone, being that he is a shepherd. He's used to guarding sheep and protecting them from lions and whatever, but he got outside his comfort zone by fighting a giant warrior that is getting outside his comfort zone. But he still maintained boundaries, and he stayed true to himself by saying, I will fight Goliath like this. I will not use your armor, your sword. I will not use that. I will use my own things. So that's what I got for myself, that you need to always challenge yourself. It's so nice because you gain everything. You gain the momentum, you gain the experience, you gain this and that. But always maintain your boundaries. Always have way or war. Always have mantras, always have visions, always have direction. Don't just go your name. And he continues saying, if you want to gain experience in order to develop as a communicator, then start where you are and be who you are. Be true to who you are, where you came from, and what you know. David stayed true to himself. I'm a shepherd. I don't fight with swords. I don't know what a sword. So he stayed true to himself by fighting with stones. Even with us doing our craft, always go back to your door. If you feel like now I'm starting to be a cloud chaser, always go back to the drawing board and stay true. Even if there are new adventures, new opportunities, new this and that, always go back to your drawing board so that you can be unique, you can be what makes you relay, you can be this and that. And he said here, I even underlined it. I don't know if you can My book. Oh no. I wanna these YouTube things now. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. And the last one is one of the hardest lessons to learn as you overcome your fears, self-consciousness, and anxiety is to find your own groove, your own lane, and your own voice. You know, if you stay true to yourself, you know what you want. And to overcome fear is to make sure you go outside your comfortable situation in a comfortable manner. I don't know if that makes sense. You challenge yourself, but comfortably. You challenge yourself not in an uncomfortable manner, but comfortably, so that you don't have anxiety, so that you don't compare yourself, so that you don't have all of that. Then implementation and imitation. There's a big difference between implementation and imitation. Don't try to imitate someone else, but do implement aspects of what you admire, appreciate, and adore about them. So that is the end of my chat. Keep it real. Allow God to be in your craft. Start. Don't look at other people. Start. Don't wait until you have certain equipment. Work with what you have, and don't drop the mic. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what you learned from this video. Tell me, like, just interact with me, and I really appreciate you guys. Your efforts don't remain unnoticed. I really do appreciate. Like, comment, and subscribe, and invite other people. Thank you.